Amazing people, we're going to look at some examples where we need to identify the type of relationship between two angles, or angle pairs here. Now, in the first one, we've got these two angles highlighted in the red. What we need to do is we need to identify what rule is being used here. Now, what I want to do is I want to use a highlighter to kind of understand the shape of these and then use that to help me understand what rule is being used here. Now, in this circumstance, we're not using parallel lines, so we're not going to be able to calculate the size of the angles here, but the rule still applies. And so as we go down here, this is highlighting and sketching out the parts of the lines which are being used for these two angles. And now if we look at the shape of that highlighted part, it has that C type shape. It's kind of a back to front C, but it does have that C shape there. And so as it has that C shape, what that means is we have co-interior angles. And the reason for that is those angles are appearing between the two lines based on the transverse passing through them. Next up, in part B, what we've got is we've got these two angles again highlighted in red. So I want to trace out the lines being used in this situation. And as I do this, we can see that it gives us the shape there, which is F-shaped. So this is going to be F-shaped. And then as a result of that, what we have here is those two angles then are going to be corresponding. And so we've got corresponding angles here. And that's because they're appearing on the same side of the transverse and opposite sides of the parallel, of the two other lines here. Now, in this last example here, what we've got is we do have parallel lines in this instance. And so as we're going to apply this here, we want to just trace over the lines being used. So as I do that here, I go across, I go up, and then I go across here. And we can see by doing this, that's kind of giving us a back to front Z shape here. So that's going to be Z-shaped. Okay, now as a result of that, when we have that Z shape, what that means is we have alternate angles. And in this case here, because they're opposite sides of the transversal and in between the parallel lines, they would also be equal angles in this case as well.